So what is up, amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. Marvel is at a strange place right now. After more than a decade of box office domination and massive crowd-pleasing events like Infinity War and Endgame, things have changed. The stories are no longer about building up to a single universe-changing moment. Instead, they're scattered, more experimental, and sometimes struggling to find the same kind of grip on the audience. In the middle of that shift comes Thunderbolts, a film that doesn't try to go bigger, it doesn't throw portals in the sky or tease 5 future movies in every scene. It actually goes smaller, quieter. It focuses on a team that most people wouldn't call heroes, a group of people with guilt, anger, and scars that don't heal easily. This isn't Marvel trying to repeat old formulas, it's Marvel testing a new space, somewhere between action and drama, between mission-based storytelling and emotional repair. And while the results may not be explosive, they are worth looking at with a clear mind and the right expectations. So in this video, I'll take you through what works in Thunderbolts, what doesn't, and where this film sits in Marvel's larger picture today. So the story begins with CIA Director Valentina De Fontaine secretly putting together a team of people with complicated pasts. Yelena, US agent, Ghost, and Taskmaster. Their mission is to infiltrate a facility run by an organization called Ox, which is working on something very dangerous. But what they don't know is that this entire mission is actually a trap. Valentina wants them gone. She's using them to cover up her own wrongdoings connected to the secret superhuman project called Sentry. In the middle of this mission, they come across Bob Reynolds, a calm, confused man who's been experimented on. He turns out to be the human form of Sentry, a being of unimaginable power who also has a destructive alter ego called the Void. After surviving the betrayal, the team is rescued and supported by Red Guardian and Bucky. They regroup and realize that Sentry's transformation into the Void is a threat not just to their mission but to the entire city. The rest of the film is about how this unlikely team made up of broken people and ex-villains must come together to stop a disaster and help Bob fight the darkness inside him. And in the end, even though they manage to control the situation, Valentina rebrands them to the public as the new Avengers to protect her own image. Now, talking about performances, Florence Pugh continues to do well as Yelena. She adds maturity to the character without making her boring. Bucky, played by Sebastian, is more restrained here, but that actually works. And the best moment in the film for me personally was his re-entry, the classic Winter Soldier vibe on a motorcycle in a solid chase sequence that brings back that raw Marvel action feel. It's fast, it's sharp, and a reminder of what made his earlier appearances so special. Now, David Harbour's Red Guardian balances lightness with depth and humor, while John Walker still carries that edge of unpredictability. Ghost finally gets some space in the story, even if it's still limited. Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina remains slick, manipulative, and knows exactly how much to say and when. Now let's talk about action. What is a Marvel movie without action? Yes, there are action scenes, some chase moments, hand-to-hand fights, and mission-driven sequences, but don't expect Avengers-level scale. It's more personal, close-up, and realistic. The bike chase with Bucky is a standout, but most of the action is built to support the story, not overwhelm it. Jake Schreier directs the film with a calm hand. The tone of the movie is serious for the most parts, but not without personality. There's a layer of dark humor throughout, especially because all these characters are morally grey. They don't deliver punchlines like Tony Stark, but their awkward conversations and blunt honesty often lead to dry, uncomfortable laughs, and it fits the kind of film this is. Now, visually, the film keeps it very minimal. Muted colors, shadow-heavy lighting, tighter camera angles. It suits the grounded approach. Nothing too glossy. The background music is quiet and functional, not something that stands out, but it does the job. The sound and fight sequences is crisp and well balanced. Again, the focus seems to be on the subtlety rather than scale. The visuals are darker with muted colors and a cold palette. There's less CGI spectacle and more practical settings. The camera work focuses on keeping things tight and intimate rather than the wide and epic usually Marvel goes with. The background music is subtle. It doesn't try to be iconic or overpower the scenes. The soundtrack helps hold the tension in emotional moments, especially during scenes involving Bob Reynolds and his inner conflict as Sentry. It may feel flat for audiences expecting constant highs and larger-than-life set pieces. This film stays on a narrow, serious path. And finally, the post-credit scene teases a possible return of this team in a new form, a sort of new Avengers lineup, but it's not loud or dramatic. It quietly hints at future plans if this storyline continues. Now, Thunderbolts is a decent, slightly different story in the Marvel universe. It doesn't try to be a crowd pleaser and it doesn't bring constant action or humor. It chooses to be slower, more grounded, and more about redemption and trust. It's not for everyone, but if you're open to watching a Marvel film that takes its time, gives space to its characters, and doesn't rush to be fun or flashy, then it's worth checking out. And if nothing else, Bucky's bike chase scene alone is a reminder of how good grounded action can still feel, even in a universe full of gods and multiverses. Thank you for watching us today. Take care, stay awesome, and bye-bye.